Hello and good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on the NAU Country Connection webinar on how to financially self-service your policyholders. I am Hope Floberg. I am the VP of IT Marketing and Training at NAU Country Insurance, and I'm pleasured to have you join us today. A few items that we're going to get started with here as we get going on our meeting is we obviously want to make sure your phones are muted. We do ask that you contact your marketing representative with any questions that you may have after this phone call today. We will be sending out a video recording and all training material that we'll be discussing during our call today in a recap email after this webinar. And also just a nice reminder to sign up for any of our additional NAU Country Connection webinars in the future, which you can find in the news section on our public website. All right, our agenda for today. So we are going to be discussing how to financially self-service your insureds, and we're going to go through the different systems where we have this available. So the first one will be EasyWriter Pro. We're going to touch on the agency financial account viewer. We'll also touch on how to access the statement of accounts within EasyWriter Pro. Our NAU Country mobile device also has some features where we can look up billing statements for our policyholders in addition to financial data. And then our agent portal is going to be a great place to be able to access 1099s, billing statements, your debt termination reports, agency billing summaries, and then of course a nice area to also look up forms for ACH direct deposit, also for ACH commission direct deposit, and our electronic commission enrollment form. We also have the loss credit waiver out there as well. And then last but not least, we'll also show you how to find the statement of accounts out on the agent portal. All right, to begin with, we're going to head into EasyWriter Pro and start with the Agency Financial Account Viewer. As you can see on the screen here, I'm in the EasyWriter Pro Agent Dashboard. To begin with, we're going to come right up to the top of the screen here and we're going to select the accounting menu item. Once that opens up here, we're going to go down to View Financial Account Data for the agency. Here, if you know your account number, you can go ahead and fill in the account number information or the statement if you're looking at a billing statement. Otherwise, if you're looking up by policy number or by insured name, you can come to the Select button to the side here and click Select. That will open up your financial policy search where you can either type in a policy number, an insured name, the tax ID, our last four digits of the tax ID, and additional information. Once you have that keyed in, you can click the search option, and that will provide some search hits down at the bottom. Once you have found the person that you were looking for, you can double click on that or you can highlight it and click OK. That will pull us back to the account search window. Again, we can highlight our line, which should already be pre-highlighted for you, and click OK. That takes us into the financial account viewer. Now there is a lot to see in this window and it's going to be a great guide for you to help assist your insured. So we're going to go kind of step by step throughout the window here. So up at the top of the screen, we'll begin with the policyholder information. Now these windows are set up to be looking at an entity or an account. So many times there could be numerous policies that are attached to an entity. So we have an account number up at the top of the screen here. Obviously, we have our insured's name, their address, their last four digits of their tax ID, phone number, and email. The middle section here is going to allow us to filter down the information that we're looking at on the screen. So I do have the crop year 2020 up. I can change that if I choose to do so. And as I just mentioned, since this is on an entity level, if you want to narrow down your search by policy number, you can select the policy number from the drop-down box. The next section is our status section. So here there's some great information. We're going to start off with the account status. That's either going to be active or closed. The MPCI ineligible and HAIL ineligible is going to display a yes if our entity is on the ineligible file through RMA. Here you can see that our entity is eligible, so that's why there is a no there. The loss credit waiver means that we have a loss credit waiver on file for this insured, which we'll show you how to access that later. And you can see here that we do not have that for this insured. And then the direct deposit form, this just means if it says yes, that they are signed up for the ACH direct deposit, which this insured is not. As we move down further in the screen here, we're going to start with going through each tab individually. So we'll first hit on the summary tab. So as you can see here on your screen, we do have a section for MPCI and livestock premium. Below that, we have the MPCI and livestock indemnity information. And then we also touch in this window on HAIL and named peril premium and also HAIL and named peril indemnity. So let's go through each area and focus on what we're looking at here. So to begin with, we start off with our policy number. Here we have two different policy numbers for MPCI assigned to this entity. Next is our line of business. In this situation, it's MPCI for both of those policies, and our status is active. Here we have our gross premium information, subsidy, net premium fees, if we have any interest accrued on these policies, any loss recovery information, and then any payments or loss credits. So this would be a payment that they sent in to pay off their bill, or any loss credits applied to their premium. And then we have our balance due as the last column here. Now, looking at this information, you can see it's on a policy level. If you want to go a little bit deeper with this information and find out more detail, as you can see here, I have this big red arrow here. You can double click on the line to see more detailed information. So as I double click on that line here, it does open up for that policy in particular, all of my coverage information now. So this has all of my coverage information for that policy. It breaks down the gross premium, subsidy, net premium, etc. for each of those coverages. It also shows me the payments and loss credits that have been made on those coverages. Now, again, to go a little bit deeper, if your insured has a question on when the payment came in or when a potential loss credit was applied to their coverage, you can then even go one step deeper and click on this payments and loss credit link. And I'm going to do that now. When I click on that, you can now see further information. So I had a deposit date of 9/21 that a check came in the amount of $21,436 on my corn policy. Now you can see here that that check amount was going to be across these different units here. So you can see here the information for this unit in particular, or this coverage in particular. The premium paid was $4,623. The fees were $30, which gives us this total here of $4,653 as a payment to our corn coverage in Clark County. I'm just going to click OK to get out of there. So you can look at each of these different lines individually if you were looking for further detail on them. Now our next section down here, the MPCI livestock indemnity, again, it's giving us our county crop, our plan, and the total indemnity. And then that's going to be broken down into credits and also checks issued. Now, if we wanted again to look at further detail down in our livestock indemnity section, again, we can just click on the link that is available to us. And just like before, it's going to open up and it's going to let us know, what the check number was that was issued out to us, what our check amount was, what date it was authorized, and so on and so forth. So therefore, we're able to assist our insureds if they do have any questions on maybe the date the check was printed and sent out or when loss credits were applied. Click OK to get out of there. It's going to be the same situation on our hail and named peril policies as well. But one more thing I do want to point out to you. This is only going to display if you have the privilege to view commissions for your agency. But if you do have the ability to view commissions, that information is also going to be detailed out at the bottom of your screen to be able to show you for each county and crop how that commission is going to be paid out. All right, to get out of the detail screen, we just need to click on the Summary tab up here at the top of the screen, and that brings us back to our main Financial Account Viewer page. Next, we're going to move on to the Payments Received tab. The Payments Received tab is truly what payments have been sent in by the insured. So if you remember on the last screen, our payment that we went over for that Corn and Clark County was the $21,436 check that had come in. You can see here on 9/21, this is the check that's referenced there. So again, these are the payments that have been sent in from the insured. Next, we'll go to the Disbursements tab. On the Disbursements tab, it's going to show us our loss information that has been paid out to this insured. It's going to detail out the loss type, whether it was an MPCI loss, a hail and named peril loss, or a livestock loss. It's going to give you the check number, the policy and claim it was paid out on, obviously the amount, and then the date it was authorized and cleared. Now, to find out further information, or if an insured was wondering further detail on the check, again, you can double click on any of these lines here to be able to see a voided copy of the check. So you can reference the information and be able to, potentially even send this again to them if they wanted to see that. We just have to click on the X in the corner here to get out of there, and we're back on our Disbursements tab. Next, we'll move on to the Documents tab. The Documents tab is really going to display any document that we have sent out to our insureds. So this could be displaying a debt termination report. This could have our billing statements, our 1099 information, etc. If something's been sent out to the insured, it should show up in here. So up at the top, we do have our billing statements. As you can see here, it has the statement date, the amount due, the past due, and then of course it's detailing out that it is a billing statement. So if we do click on this line here, it will open up the billing statement that was sent out. So if we needed to resend that to an insured, we'd be able to pull up a copy of that again. Otherwise, down in the bottom section, this is where your debt termination letters would show, obviously where your 1099 information is. Again, down in the bottom section, if you do click on the line, it will open up the document. So again, you're able to cross-reference that information or even resend it out to your insureds if they have questions. So again, the Financial Account Viewer is really all-encompassing any accounting information that pertains to your insureds. Next, we're going to hit on the Statement of Accounts, and I just want to show you where this is printed in our system and just a couple options here that might be helpful to you when printing it. So we're going to go out of this window by clicking on the X in the right-hand corner. And when I do that, I'm back on my agency dashboard. Now, to get to the Statement of Accounts, again, I'm going to go up to the Accounting window at the top of the screen. We'll go right to the Statement of Accounts option here. And when that opens up on our screen here, it is going to display all of the agencies assigned to us. And in this situation, it is a master sub situation. So you can see here I have 3 different agencies assigned to my user. Now the first one here you'll see has a little green chip in the corner. That means this is the master agency. So again, my master and then my subs beneath. I do want to talk about a couple things at the top of the screen here, just so you can see. We get a lot of questions on how do I see my commission breakdown on the statement of accounts. If you look at the top of the screen here, we do have this display commission. And again, this is only available if you have permission to see the commissions for your agency. But if you do, this will display and you can just check that box. When you check that box, then you'll want to come down and you're going to also want to select which agencies you want to print the agency statement of account information for. So I'm going to just check all of them here. And you can see here that's checked and these are checked. Then these options up at the top are no longer going to be grayed out. I then have the availability to preview this document, print it, export it, or create labels for it. And that sums up our statement of account. And you can see here just to click preview. And now we're going to move on to our NAU country mobile options that are available. So we do have billing statements and financial information available out on our NAU country mobile device. Now the cool thing is this is actually available to your farmers as well if they do have a farmer account and have the NAU Country mobile app downloaded. I'm going to show you how to access the information today, but I'll also cross-reference how they can access the information. So heading into NAU Country Mobile, we're going to begin by signing in to the NAU Country mobile app, which is going to utilize our same username and password that we utilize today to get into EasyWriter Pro or the agent portal. Once we've filled in that information, we can just click login here. And that is going to open up a listing of our farmers on the screen. So from here, we'll select our farmer. And you can see here over to the side, I do want to point this out. Whenever this little flag here is red, that does mean that a claim exists for this entity on one of their policies. So I just wanted to kind of point that out to you. The other thing I guess I can point out as well is if there is an E and it's highlighted in green, that means the policy is mapped. And if there's a little red triangle in the corner, that does mean that one of the policies for this entity does have errors through RMA that we're working to clear up. All right, so I'm going to select this policy here, Emma Stone, and we're going to head in. Now we are going to see Emma Stone's policies. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start off by looking at her billing statements. So there's a couple, maybe a little trick that I want to fill you in on that maybe will help in the future too. So from a billing standpoint, since billing is done on an entity level, we will not enter into a policy to be able to find the billing statements. We want to look at it from an entity level. So from this level on Emma Stone, we're actually going to go up to the top of the screen here and we're going to click or tap on the actions option. Now, if I was on an iPad, this is going to be on the right-hand side of my screen, and I can just go over, look at the actions icon or section, and scroll down. So let's just tap on that. As that opens up, you can see here I have a big listing of options that I can do for Emma Stone on an entity level. What we're going to do is we're going to go down to billing statements, and I'm going to tap on billing statements. When that comes up, you can see here that we do have 2 billing statements that have been issued for Emma. And just to access those billing statements, I can just tap on one of them, and the billing statement will open for me. At this point in time, if it was just a question that an insured had, I would be able to look at the statement and answer their question. Otherwise, I can come up to this option up at the top right-hand corner here. This does give me the availability to print, to share, or even to email this statement out to the insured. Otherwise, once I'm done with the statement, I can just click on this back option, which will bring me back to the billing statements. I'll go back one more time, and that brings me back to my actions window. At this point in time, I actually want to go back to the policies listed for Emma Stone because I do want to show you the financial data now. So we're going to click back on this policies area here. And when I do that, I'm back at Emma's policies. Now, the next area that we're going to look at is financial data. Now, the financial data is based on a policy. So at this point in time, I do need to enter into a policy, and we're going to pick Emma's 2020 policy. So we're going to come to this middle policy here and tap on that policy. Here I have a listing of Emma's coverages available. At this point in time, since I'm at a policy level, now I'm going to go into the Actions button at the top of the screen. So you can see why maybe at times it could be confusing as to how deep of a level to go before you click on Actions. But it's pretty self-explanatory if you think of it in the way of entity versus policy-based items. Plus, if you go into the Actions window and you don't see what you're looking for, you're probably just not on the right level. All right, so from here, we're going to go again up to that Actions option at the top of the screen. Again, on your iPad, it's going to be on the right-hand panel, and we're going to click on that. On this listing of items, we're going to have to scroll down a little bit because we're going to go down to the financial policy data. And I'm just going to tap on that option down here. Now, this is going to list out all of my coverages for the policy that I'm on, and it's going to let me know, first of all, what are the balances due for each of my coverages on the policy. And then it's also going to lay out if I have any indemnity amounts on this policy. So first of all, we're going to start by looking at this corn coverage. And you can see here that we have the bill date, the termination date, and the balance due. Now, to find out more information on this corn coverage, I just need to tap on this little arrow over to the side here. And once I do that, it's going to give me complete detail on how this $3,854 came to be. So you can see here on May 28th that there was no premium due. On June 29th, acres were keyed onto the policy, and you can see your base amount of $3,824 were added to the policy, or to the coverage. And then here on the same day, probably at the same time, that admin fee of $30 was also added in. And you can just see right here to the side where it says amount type, this is going to detail that this was the premium, and this is detailing that this is the admin fee. So again, you can see what dates those fees were added or transactions were done. If I possibly had interest accruing on this coverage, that would also show in this window. So again, just a nice way to get some detail on where those fees are coming from. To back out of this window, you just can go up to this financial data back button here and select that. I do also want to show you indemnities. If you do have a loss or an indemnity on the policy, you will have an option down here to select the coverage that had the indemnity amount on it. So you can see here I do have a loss on the corn on this policy. Again, I'm just going to select this little arrow over to the side here, click on that. Again, it's going to give me a nice detail of information on this claim. So first of all, it looks like I had a loss amount accrued. My claim number is posted here on July 8th of $359. And then you can see here the next day on July 9th that amount was paid out to me, and now the balance on the account is zero because that check was issued to me. We do have an additional arrow here that you're able to click on to be able to get more information, such as the check number that was issued. Again, the date is posted here, etc. So again, just a nice way to be able to look at, first of all, your billing statements in the mobile app, and then of course, any financial data regarding are related to policies. And again, this is available for both you and your farmers. To get out of here, you just need to hit the financial data back button, and you'll be able to get back to your policy information. All right, next we're going to head into the agent portal. So there's a lot of areas that I want to cover in the agent portal today. We're going to start off with billing and 1099. So let's first of all head into the portal. So the first thing I do want to make mention of is we're going to go through just kind of the basic way on how to access these areas. There's always numerous ways to get to the same result as you go through. So for instance, we're going to go and find 1099s right away. But if you look over here under quick links, you can see here you could click on 1099s right there and be able to enter in your policy number and get to the same window we're going to go to. Same situation with the report center down at the bottom of the screen here. We're going to take a different route to get there. But again, those quick links are great tools to be able to get to the same area that we're going to. So let's start off with looking at billing and 1099. So we're going to go up to the top of the screen here and we're going to click on My Farmers. And then once that My Farmers window opens up, again, we'll click on the My Farmers option in here. When that opens up, again, a listing of all of my farmers is going to show up on the screen. I'll come down to the entity that I want to look at, and I'm going to just click right on that entity. This here is the base screen for the entity Hope Floberg. It's going to show me all of her policies, all of the information, quick links to be able to get to Field Insights, Easy View Weather, all of the claim information, etc., just right over to the side here. But we're going to concentrate on billing. So we want to view the billing statement for Hope Floberg. And so we're going to just come up to this button at the top of the screen here, and we're going to click on that. Just like on the mobile app, it's going to list out all of my billing statements that have been sent out for Hope Floberg. I'll come in here, and if I want to access one, I just click on this link here. As I do that, I am in Chrome, and so Chrome opens the document or generates the document down here at the bottom of the screen. So once that is there, I can click this arrow or double click on this PDF and my billing statement will open up for me. So I'm able to view that billing statement. I'm able to email it on if need be or download it and do whatever I need to do with it. To get out of this window, you just need to click on the red X at the top of the screen here. You'll notice it opened its own separate tab. So once you exit out of this window, you'll still be right within the agent portal, right back on your billing screen. So now to get back to the base page for Hope Floberg, I just can utilize my breadcrumb line here and click on Hope Floberg, and that takes me back to this window. On this window, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the 1099s for this entity. So again, I'm going to click on this middle section here. Just take a click on that, and this is going to give me all of the information for Hope Floberg on her 1099 information. So if she's been an insured with us for a while, I could have numerous forms and letters on here for past years. So again, it's going to tell me my document type. Is this the form or is this the letter for 1099s? And then I can just come over here and I can click on the link to be able to view those documents. So let's just click on this top one here. Again, I'm on Chrome, so it opens up at the bottom. Just double click on that, and it's going to open up my form information. Now, the letter information is going to be a lot more detailed. How did we get to the amounts that are on this 1099 form, etc. But again, I have the ability to print this, download it, resend it on to my insureds, what have you. Again, once I'm done with this, it did open in its own tab at the top of the screen. I can exit right out and I'm back on the 1099 page. Now, what I want to go into are some of our different resources for forms available out here to be able to assist your insured. So we're going to go up to the resources menu option at the top of the screen. When that opens, we're going to go to our company forms. As you can see here, my forms page has opened. The nice thing is without having to do any type of search or scrolling, two of the documents I want to talk about are right on top. So the first one is the ACH Commission Direct Deposit form. Just what it says it is. This is your ability to sign up for commission direct deposit. So you click on this document, it'll open up, you have the ability to fill it in, send it to our accounting department, and get set up for direct deposits for commissions. The next item on the page is the ACH indemnity direct deposit form, which is what you would be able to give to your insured to assist them in signing up for indemnity direct deposit. So another great one to be able to help utilize and get those claim payments out a little bit faster and right into their bank account. The next item that I do want to show you, and you can just come up to the top of the screen here in the search and type in commission and then hit apply. And when you do that, what will come up here is a guide to access the electronic commission documents. And I'm going to show you when you sign up for the electronic commission documents, you're able to access your commission documents out on the agent portal versus waiting for them to come into the mail for you. So this is a great way, first of all, to sign up for it, and then it's a guide to how do you find them once you have signed up. So we're going to walk through that here in just a moment. The next item that I do want to go over first, and we can type it right in this search window, is our loss credit waiver. So we'll type in loss credit, hit apply. Here is the loss credit waiver that I talked to you about earlier when we were in EasyWriter Pro, and I was showing you that financial account viewer. So again, here is that document if your insureds would want to do the loss credit waiver. All right, next we are going to go up to our EASYsuite. Now these items you do need to have permission for to view. So as we go through them, if you do not see these options, it means that you either do not have the ability for your agency to view commissions or maybe view particular financial documents. So let's go up to the EASYsuite option menu at the top of the screen, and we're going to go down to financial information and click on that. The financial information is going to allow us, first of all, to come in, select a year. Your agency information is going to automatically default in, but if you're a master sub situation and just wanted to look at maybe just the master or one of the subs, you can come in here and fill this in. When you click on it, it's going to give you searching ability. The document type, again, if I click on this, what it's going to do is it's going to open up and ask if I want just to view the debt termination notices or the agency monthly billing statements. So I can select one of those if I wanted to filter down what I'm seeing. And then once I'm going to choose here just to actually view everything, you can see I have 3 agencies down at the bottom of the screen. To view that information, I just need to click on this little arrow here to be able to open up the information for that agency in particular. I'm going to do that now, and I'm going to go down and scroll here. Now, one thing I do want to point out first is the page size. When it says 10 up here, that means it's going to display 10 returns down at the bottom of the page. So I can make that a larger number. It just means I have to scroll a little bit more. Or if I keep it at 10 and I have more than that, down at the bottom of the page, it'll allow me to switch to the next page. So as you can see here, once I open up that little tree view or little arrow, it's now going to show me all of the documents for this first agency. Now, if it's new, that means I have not viewed it yet. Here it's going to lay out the date of the document, the year in question, the line of business, and then the document type. So you can see here, this is a debt termination notice. I also have an agency monthly billing summary down here. And of course, my agency code, agency name. The debt termination notice you're able to view in a PDF format or in an Excel format. And then the agency monthly billing summary is just in the PDF format. So I just need to click on that. Again, in Chrome, it's going to open up at the bottom of the screen. You just have to double click on it and open it right up. And you have the ability to download it or print it. So that is the financial information window. Next, we're going to go back up to EASYsuite, and this time we're going to click on Commissions in the drop-down box. So we'll select that. Now, the commissions area, just as I had mentioned a few minutes ago, is this is the electronic commission window. So you do need to be signed up for electronic commissions to be able to access your commissions in this window. Again, just a really quick way to get that information versus waiting on the mail. So when you come in, again, you can put in your year information. Your agency information, again, will default in for you, but if you want to narrow it down, you certainly can. We have our page size over here. And again, I have my agencies listed down at the bottom. Now, just like before, you just need to click on the arrow for the one you want to view the information for. So we'll select that. That is going to open up my detail for this agency. So you can see here on these dates, I had commission checks paid out. Here's my line of business, MPCI, Hale, name payroll, the statement type, is it a base commission payout, etc. Here is the amount of the commission and the payment type. And then if I get over here to the side, I can click on this arrow here. And this is going to ask me, do I want to download this in an Excel document? Do I just want the raw data? How do you want this information? So again, you can view it all out here and be able to have access to that paperwork. All right, that is the electronic commission window. Again, if you have any questions on any of these items, please feel free to reach out to your marketing representative as well, and they'll be more than happy to help you get signed up for these. All right, next we're going to head over to our resources tab, our menu item at the top of the screen. And I do want to show you the statement of accounts here. So we're going to go down to the report center and we're going to click on the report center. When we come into the report center, again, you select your year, come over to the arrow here to select what type of report you want to look at. Here I'm going to do the MPCI statement of accounts, but you can see here we also have the debt termination report in here. We have our Hale statement of accounts. There's a lot of good ones out here, but we'll click on the MPCI statement of accounts. Now in here, again, I can select my agency. If I'm a master agency, I could include my sub-agencies. Once you have that selected, or if you just want to view all for your agency, you can come over here and just click the Generate button. Now you'll notice out here, I do not have the ability to include my commission items. So that's only, or my commission details. That's only available in EasyWriter Pro. So I'll click Generate here. And this is what the document will look like for you. So again, it's your standard statement of accounts document that'll print or that'll display on your screen. Up at the top of the screen, you'll have the ability to save this. You can delete it and get rid of it. You can also, create it in a PDF format, an Excel document format. And this last item over here is your column chooser. So if you wanted to add additional columns, maybe you wanted to show your agency or your insured name, you can do that up at by choosing them out of the column selector. You can also come in here and move around these columns in any way or format that you want to do so. So again, this is the statement of accounts and what it looks like on the agent portal. So very similar to what you could do in the EasyWriter Pro system. All right, once you have looked at the statement of accounts, again, it's opening up in its own tab, so making it really easy if you exited out of here that you're still in the agent portal. So we'll just exit out of that. And that concludes our training for today. So thank you so much for joining us today. If you do have any questions, please reach out to your marketing representative or your underwriter. And thank you so much for your time.